Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is one I tend to do every season, and they recently announced that there is a Sephora sale coming. And every time they do the VIB Rouge sale, which is 20 or 15 or 10% off, depending on your Sephora tier, they give you a coupon. And I like to go through some of the best picks on what you should be buying. Something I've noticed in the past is that when I have that coupon, I want to go and buy a little bit of everything. And honestly, the best way to get the most out of your discount is to get the things you know you're going to use, because buying that $90 blush palette from Natasha Denona that I am obsessed with is something that for me is totally worth it. But if you think you want it and you're never going to use it, it might not be worth it for you. So if you want to see my top picks for the top 10 items that you should get with your Sephora VIB Rouge coupon, stay tuned. So as you guys know, Sephora does these sales twice a year, once for the holidays and once in the spring. So I'm going to include the dates on the screen right now. I actually did take a screenshot, so for once I am prepared to read them to you. But the 17th through May 1st, 20% off all products for Rouge clients only. And then the 21st to the 29th, all VIB clients will get 15%. And then 4/23 to 4/27, all the insiders will get 10%. Which means if you don't have a Sephora account and you sign up for one, you will automatically get 10% off everything. So I'm going to be going over some of my top picks in this video. I do also mention a coupon code for MURAD. So if you happen to want MURAD products, a friend of mine does have a coupon code. I do not. I'm going to mention it in the video as well, but I'm going to link that right here so that if you want 20% off anything MURAD, go to their site and use it there versus going to Sephora and you're only getting 15% off. Either way, win-win, but check that out. And let's jump into my top picks. So the first two items we're going to talk about are going to be primers. The first is from Tatcha. It is the Silk Canvas. This primer, I mean, clearly I have shown it some love. It is on its way out. So it is beautiful for smoothing out your pores, filling in lines, and setting a nice base for all of your makeup to stick to. I absolutely love this formula because it doesn't bunch up or pill, and any foundation you put on top does not pill up or separate or look gross. I also love that it has antioxidant benefits, anti-pollution benefits, so it's going to keep all that bad crap out of your skin. The other item, same price point, I believe this one is 65 or 70, is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. Now this one is a little bit more nourishing and hydrating, whereas the other one is a little more smoothing. A little goes a long way, and I treat this both as a primer and as a secondary moisturizer. So it adds a nice level of hydration into the skin, also almost smooths out the skin. It doesn't fill it in quite as much as the Silk Canvas, but it definitely gives you that nice smoothed out texture so that everything can sit really nicely on the skin. The Bobbi Brown Face Base is a staple that I've been using for absolute years. And if you're looking for that like hydrating, nourishing primer, that is definitely an amazing pick. I do have two picks for foundations because they both will work on all skin types. The first is the one I'm wearing today, which is the Laura Mercier Flawless Lumiere. Super hydrating, but it is a natural finish. So even if you have oily skin, you're not going to look greasy. But if you're drier, this is going to help add hydration. I'm in the shade 1C1. And the other one is the Flawless Airbrush Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. Also more hydrating, but this one, again, gives you that natural satin finish. This one's a little bit glowier, whereas this one's a little bit more oil controlling. But both of them will work whether you're oily, dry, or anything in between. It's not oil controlling in the way that it'll make you feel drier if you're dry, but if you're oily, you can still get away with it. Both of these will work. This one I'm in the shade Cool 5. So either of these are like my instant go-to picks if you're looking for foundations. So pick number 5 is going to be a little bit more of a whole category. You can't go wrong with any of them. So it is Hourglass Pressed Powders. My skin is oily, and I find that even on my skin, this just gives such a beautiful glow to the skin without getting shiny. This is the Hourglass Unlocked Edit palette from Holiday 2 years ago, but these powders you can all still buy. I'm going to take a tiny bit and just add it to my cheek, just so you can see the blurring luminosity. It just smooths out the skin and adds like that perfect blur skin tone effect so that everything just looks flawless. This is one of their blushes. This is in the shade Diffused Heat. I'm going to throw some on just so you guys can see. I mean, I have blush on, but what's a little bit more? It just adds whatever color you end up going with. It adds a similar diffusion to the skin, so it doesn't accentuate pores or lines or texture. The reason I wanted to show kind of both of these is that there is no wrong answer. Any of their pressed powders, whether you're going for a bronzer, a blush, a highlight, or something a little bit more for setting, you cannot go wrong if you're on the hunt. They're a little pricey, but they're totally worth it. I like to go with the palette because of how little I use them. I've had this for a year and a half, and I am still using colors from out of here. And I mean, I've made a little bit of a dent, but not too much. Under eye contour, bronzer, blushes, and highlight. There is no wrong answer. I'm going to take a little bit of the highlight just to add a bit more luminosity to the cheek. See how it just adds a beautiful glow everywhere? That's what I love about their powders. So depending on your skin tone, you might want to look into different options in their range, but the Hourglass Ambient Finishing Powders and the Strobing Blushes and the Bronzers are all beautiful. For setting spray, if I had to pick one that I think universally works for all skin types, skin textures, etc., it's going to be the Smashbox Photo Finish Weightless Setting Spray for a few reasons. One, super beautiful mister. I like to spray it on, let it sit there for a second, and then take my beauty sponge and kind of pat it into the skin. What I love most about this is it is not mattifying, but it is not hydrating. So it's not going to strip moisture from the skin, but it's also not going to add oil, but it's almost waterproof. Like, once I put that on, my makeup does not budge until the second I want to take it off. No issues, no nothing. It is just so nice on the skin. Now, because it's limited edition, item number 6 is going to be the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit. This is one of the most universal, beautiful highlighting palettes. I can use every shade in here, and I'm on the fairer side. It is stunning. This was limited edition, and I've had it for about 3.5 years or so since it first launched, and they recently relaunched it. So if it is still available, you're going to want to get your hands on it, because once it's gone, you are missing out. I'm going to actually take the darkest shade and add a little bit of extra glow just so you guys can see. But it is just the most beautiful light reflecting sheen on the whole skin. You can build it up if you want it to be a really vibrant highlight. I like to diffuse it a little bit more so it's still super glowy, but it's definitely glowy and wearable. If I find that I went a little bit overboard, I'll take a finishing brush and just kind of diffuse it down the cheeks, just so it just becomes this natural shine and not a stripe on your face. But either way, it is beautiful and you cannot go wrong. The next 3 items are actually all skincare, and I use all 3 of these. One of them I actually recently finished, so you're going to see me open a new box, which is kind of cool. But the first is going to be the Essential Skin Boosting Super Serum from Dior. My issue is that I've been using essences for years, and they're liquid, so they get everywhere, and I feel so wasteful. This is all of the effects of an essence in a gel form, so it feels like you're applying a serum. You just apply this before all of your other serums, and this is actually going to boost how effective the rest of your items are. My serum pick is hands down the MURAD Revitalixir Recovery Serum. I'm obsessed with this. You guys have seen me talk about it for literally years. You'll recognize that bottle right here. This is a fresh, brand new one just because I recently finished my last one, and I've been like 2 weeks without it, so I am so excited to jump back into this. Wild indigo, CBD oil, and apricot oil. It's going to soothe, smooth, hydrate. It's going to replenish your skin. It's also going to be an anti-pollutant barrier on top of your skin so no crap gets into your pores. All in all, it is just a beautiful serum for literally anybody. And I do like to pair that with the MURAD Replenishing Multi-Acid Peel. This is a 2-tone, so it's a oil and a water base. So you shake it up and you use this to exfoliate your skin. You can use it every night, and it's just going to add a youthful glow back to the skin, no matter what your skin type is. The reason I want to mention these two specifically is a very good friend of mine. Her name is Annie. She works for MURAD, and right now, as you guys know, stores are closed, so companies are hurting. So they've given all of their employees discount codes. This is not a commission code. I don't make any money off of this, but if you can show some support for my friend Annie, she works for MURAD, I'm going to link in the description box and right here on the banner a code where you will get 20% off any MURAD products from their website. You can also get the discount from Sephora, but If the Sephora discount is less than 20% and you're not Rouge, you can always go get a MURAD discount on that, and that extends past the sale. So, another coupon. You got 2 coupons for the price of 1 in this video. You're welcome. Go check it out. My girl Annie is a sweetheart and hooks me up with all the MURAD products I can ever want, and I loved her even before she started giving me free shit. So let's show her some love and support, and if you're gonna buy it, use that coupon code. Okay, and the last item I'm gonna talk about is actually any eyeshadow palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I don't know what it is about their formula. Ever since they launched the Jackie Aina palette, I have started revisiting my older eyeshadow palettes. I did not use it today. Today I used the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag because I was playing with it. That's also a great pick if you're looking for an eyeshadow palette. But that's not the one I used today. I used Lunar Beauty. But if you're looking for a palette and you're looking for something that you can use every single day, pretty much any of the Anastasia palettes are going to be designed with enough colors that you can use them for your bolds, your neutrals, your pops of color, your everyday. I just grabbed a handful of mine. I'm going to show you first the Jackie Aina palette, which again, neutrals, pops of color all in. This one was limited edition. It's the Sultry palette. If this is gone, I'm sorry, but this is like my favorite palette of all time. Modern Renaissance is OG. Everybody loves it. These two I think are also limited edition, Riviera and Prism. Again, every palette they do has the perfect amount of neutrals and pops. So you can really get a little bit of everything and you never feel like you're missing a color. Like unless you're looking for a specific color. But if you want like a travel palette, I'll usually grab these two and I'm good to go because I will have every neutral I will ever use and then some. And some really helpful pops of color that are still on the neutral side. And then I'll pack a brights palette, and whatever that is, it'll be something that gives me a little bit more like this. And that is the finished video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what are you going to be picking up with your coupon. Thanks again, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!